Well, as the president of the Susan B. Anthony list, Marjorie Dannenfelser has reached millions of voters over the last 3 election cycles, helping elect a pro-life president and a pro-life majority in the Senate. She's the author of a new book, Life is Winning, Inside the Fight for Unborn Children and Their Mothers. We now welcome Marjorie Dannenfelser to the show. Marjorie, welcome and congratulations on the new book.
Thank you. Thanks to both of you.
All right. Well, last night we saw Abby Johnson give a very compelling and graphic speech. I want to play just a clip of that for our audience.
The last thing I saw was a spine twirling around in the mother's womb before succumbing to the force of the suction.
You know, some people have said she went too far. She was too graphic, but really painting a picture of her experience there. How do you think the speech went?
I think it was perfect. I think that every successful human rights battle in American history has had a similar recoil, that when people see and hear what the horror of that moment is, they recoil first and then they step forward and they do something about it. It was necessary, and it was her personal experience, which no one can argue with.
Marjorie, you've been fighting for pro-life issues for a long time. As Lindsay mentioned, you've been extremely effective in getting people elected. Before Abby was off the stage, the media went nuts. They were starting to attack her to talk about her past, what she had done. NBC referred to as an opponent of abortion rights. You know the language. You write about it. It's anti-choice, anti-this. How much do we have to overcome to get the word out because of the media's bias in this?
Boy, Sean, you really know this better than anybody, at least as well as I. But I can tell you this, that from the 2012 election until now has been a flip script. It wasn't discussed at all at the RNC, and this time it was front and central, beautiful. That's what it takes. And the opposite has occurred in the Democratic Party. It was completely central in 2012 and after, and in 2016. And this time, you didn't hear the word abortion at the Democratic National Convention. That is the sign of a successful movement where abortion in the conversation has made the national level of conversation. And that's what it takes to succeed. And you know what, you know what it's all about, too. You help your friends who are great advocates, and you defeat those who say they're advocates but don't act that way, or they're absolutely on the other side, and we have to eliminate them. That's what political muscle is all about. The tobacco industry has it. Why should we not for babies, right?
Yep.
That's a great point. I want to play just one more clip from Abby Johnson's speech last night, where she talks about the difference between the Biden-Harris ticket and the Trump-Pence ticket. Take a listen.
This election is a choice between 2 radical anti-life activists and the most pro-life president we have ever had. That's something that should compel you to action. Go door to door, make calls, talk to your neighbors and friends, and vote on November 3rd.
You know, never before have we had such a drastic difference between tickets. In this COVID world, how are you getting the message out about pro-life right now and how it matters to this election in November?
Well, it's kind of amazing. We have door-to-door canvassers in all the battleground states going to Democrats, independents, and Republicans. And it's kind of crazy in this COVID world. Now, of course, they're masked, but people are really kind of hungry for conversation, especially pro-life people who understand the stakes, want to talk it through, really want to have a good conversation. Also, when we call them, you know how everybody hates robocalls? Now, these personal calls are very effective. So we will reach 7 million voters. We've just added a chunk by the end of this by-election day. Most of them will vote by absentee, and that's very much central to what we're doing. We're helping them vote absentee and mail-in balloting and the whole thing. So that's what we have to adapt to the times, and we have, and we're going to win. A handful of votes will determine this whole thing, and I predict they will be pro-life votes in battleground states.
What compelled you to write the book?
Well, you know, I've never was interested in writing a book. I'm way too impatient. I'm too much of an activist. But it's an important story that has to be told, a similar story to, as I said, every other successful movement in American history. And it deserves to be told because it really is winning. And it's a great evangelical tool in terms of just convincing people that getting involved in the political process is changing the culture, and it's using the tools of the founder to change a great wrong that is a scar on the conscience of a nation. So it's a story to tell about the success of America in rising up on this moment. on the verge of great change.
That's great. Marjorie, congratulations on the book. Once again, the title is called Life is Winning: Inside This Fight for Unborn Children and Their Mothers. It's out now. Go to Amazon, or if you can go to a bookstore, go there too. Congratulations on the book.
Yeah. Well, bless you both. Thank you so much.
All right.